なもタサバガバトアラハトサンマサンブダサHomage to him, the exalted one, the enlightened one, the supremely awakened one. Buddham saranam gacchami. Dhammam saranam gacchami. Sangham saranam gacchami. I go to the Buddha for guidance. I go to the Dhamma for guidance. I go to the Sangha for guidance. Namandam, 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 sambandam. 修行後者供養一切死と勝負不尿愚道検証不逆非尿後者勝負世界無不影無種鮮度光明師匠変死小国尿税精進偉人難量両が差分国土第一五種奇妙道場超絶国女内四二無闘争ガト愛民道断日祭実法来生新年少女伊藤が国慶楽安穏公文神妙税が神聖本願の日力少所欲実法生存知恵無下上領子孫知が信行軽量心死食読中画行精進忍術不敬ナマンナブナマンナブナマンナブナマンナブナマンナブナマンナブ願にしく読平等聖祭道本も大心往生a video, and this is really weird because it's a video within a video, but recently I have been doing a video series with Reverend Katsuya Kusunoki from the Seattle Betsuin, and together we have been doing many discussions about Buddhism, about topics that people might have questions of regarding Buddhism. And these videos have been posted onto YouTube, and they are titled the Minds of Ministers. It's not only to let you know what we have been doing, but also because the content is relevant to the upcoming Hanamatsuri service, and that is why I wanted to show you what we last did together. We speak in a more laid-back and comfortable setting, and we kind of go back and forth with our thoughts on a particular issue. And so because of the governor's kind of shelter-in-place order, the last video was done on Zoom. So here's our discussion.
Hey, good morning, everyone. Thank you for coming to this Sunday service this morning. Today we are having the special Sunday service. It is the Hanamatsuri service. So, okay, well, to the beginning of this Dharma ministers, minds of ministers, please join me in Gassho, put your hands together. Namo Amida Butsu, 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 Namanda, Naman. Thank you. So my name, again, let me introduce myself first. My name is Reverend Katsuya Kusunoki. I'm the resident minister of Seattle Buddhist Temple. Then,
And my name is Reverend Takashi Miyaji from the Tacoma Buddhist Temple.
so this is our number 3, the third episode 3, Minds of Ministers. So last 2 Minds of Ministers we recorded at the Tacoma Buddhist Temple a couple weeks ago.
Yeah.
Then, so this is the episode 3. It is nice to get together, and we can have this recording in person.
Yeah.
But because of this situation, we are using the technology and using the Zoom. Then I'm here at the Seattle Buddhist Temple, and Miyaji Sensei is at the Tacoma Buddhist Temple, right?
Yeah, it's very interesting that it took a world pandemic, unfortunately, to get me to get off my butt and start doing online videos. But I think I'm finding it to be a lot more useful and helpful to try to reach out to a different and wider audience, I think. Also going to be starting a podcast pretty soon that will also talk about Shin Buddhist doctrine and kind of also everyday kind of issues from a Shin Buddhist perspective.
Oh.
Yeah, so I think that's been kind of something that's been exciting me and motivating me to kind of study more and think about what kind of topics would be good to talk about. And this venue actually is very helpful for me too. I think it shows me what you're thinking, and it shows me kind of what the audience is thinking and what their interests are, and what we can do to try to answer some of their questions.
So, since for how long, our governor say the executive order, stay home, stay safe. So that how many years ago? Week ago? More than 10 days ago?
Yeah.
So what are you doing every day?
Yeah. Nothing.
Basically we can't go anywhere. Only the grocery shopping and some just walking, right? So what do you do?
Yeah, even for me, I actually injured my foot, so it's very hard for me to walk right now. And so right now, I've just been kind of sitting on my couch and just doing a lot of reading and stuff, and time with my son. And he's been watching a lot of. He has a lot of music classes and those kinds of things online.
Music class.
Yeah.
Oh.
What we've been kind of doing, but just staying indoors for the most part. Yeah. What have you been doing?
Well, I try to not to too lazy.
Yeah.
Wake up almost same time.
Yeah.
Then I just come. Both of us are living by the temple, so I come to the temple almost same as usual time to come to the temple. Then have a service.
Right.
So now I'm doing the live streaming service every morning at 10 a.m. So try to, how can I say? I want to have a routine, 9 o'clock I do this, 10 o'clock I do this. Otherwise, I'm going to be super lazy.
I'm already falling into that.
Yeah. Then I try not to stay too late at night.
I see.
Then, both of us has a son. So I usually play with my son in the afternoon. So he has a lot of energy, so he has to burn his energy.
Yeah, your son has a lot of energy.
So I mentioned at the beginning of this talk, but this is we are recording this Minds of Ministers for the special service, not Easter. In April, for not only Jodo Shinshu Buddhist, we have one of the most popular, maybe biggest service. So it is the Hanamatsuri service. So Hanamatsuri service, we celebrate Shakyamuni Buddha's birthday. So the actual day is April 8th. So before going to the Hanamatsuri Shakyamuni Buddha's birthday, can I ask you to briefly explain who Shakyamuni Buddha is?
Yeah. So for the viewers who are not familiar with Buddhism or have some familiarity with it, but don't have too much familiarity with it, Shakyamuni Buddha, or who's called Prince Siddhartha, actually has a few different names like Gautama Buddha. The person from the Shakya clan is what is known is his name. Was born about 2,500 years ago from today in what is present day Nepal. And I don't know what books you have familiarized yourself with, but basically, just to kind of give it in a nutshell, the Buddha at some point in his early adulthood goes through what we call the four gates and experiences different kinds of inevitable types of suffering. Uh, so the first one is birth, but actually in the example that's given, the story that's given, he goes out of the four gates, east, south, west, and north. And out of the east, south, west, and north gates, what he comes across is an old person, an elderly person who's kind of hunched over and walking, an old person, sick person, a person who is, has an illness. The next gate, he runs into a person who is a corpse. He runs into a corpse. And all of these three types of suffering, he doesn't know what it is because his previous kind of existence has been walled off from all of these types of things. Um, he's taken aback and he's shocked. And out of the fourth gate, he comes across a kind of mendicant monk who is practicing the way through spirituality to try to attain spiritual freedom. And so looking at this, he's inspired by this and he sets off on his own to kind of understand why people suffer. Why is this existence rife with suffering? And through his own spiritual path, he attains what we call enlightenment, the understanding of the reason why we suffer. And he goes and expounds this teaching of Buddhism. And how this is connected to us, as Jodo Shinshu Buddhists, we say that Shakyamuni Buddha has taught 84,000 different types of teachings. And this is according to the different types of audiences that he was teaching to. He would adjust his teachings to fit their needs. And so this is what came about with 84,000 different types of teachings. And with all the different types of schools of Buddhism there are, they would say out of the 84,000, this was what he wanted to say. He taught all these other things, but it was to get to this one thing he wanted to say. And so for us, it was the three Pure Land Sutras. Shakyamuni Buddha wanted to teach about the teaching of Amida Buddha and Amida Buddha's path to spiritual liberation for all sentient beings. And this is why we attribute Buddhism to be founded by Shakyamuni Buddha, and he is the founder of this religion for us in this world. Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah.
So then in our Jodo Shinshu, I think most of the, not only Jodo Shinshu temple, in Japan, Japanese Buddhist temples celebrate Hanamatsuri in April. But I heard some other sect of Buddhism, they celebrate in May.
Oh, I see. Yeah.
Yeah. So, maybe it is, maybe, I don't know why we are celebrating in April, some other sect are celebrating in May. But we, can I say Shakyamuni Buddha is a founder of Buddhism? Is it founder is a good word to use?
Yeah, I would, yeah, right. I think so. And he appeared in this world to be able to teach the path of, or the Buddha Dharma to us. So I think for the sentient beings of this world, that's how we can understand him to be the founder of Buddhism. Yeah, yeah. Even though the teaching has always been there.
Right.
He's one of many Buddhas that come about. Yeah.
I think, all different temples are celebrating Shakyamuni Buddha's birthday, Hanamatsuri
Mhm.
service. So I was born and raised in Japan. Then you were born and raised in the United States. So
Yeah,
how do you have any memory of a Hanamatsuri service when
yeah.
you were a child, Dharma school student?
The only thing I remember is that the white elephant. So
Uh-huh.
what happens is there's a white elephant that's placed in front of the central altar, and then there's a statue of a baby Buddha in a little uh, in a big kind of bowl, I would say, but it's like a pond. And then there's a tea in there, sweet tea that we pour onto the Buddha to kind of depict that when the Buddha was born, this the sweet rain fell upon the earth to kind of signify that it was a uh, special kind of occasion that has happened. Yeah, yeah.
So
What do you say?
at your temple when you were a child, those white elephant
Yeah.
was made of wood or how?
Oh, that's a good question. I'm not too sure what it was made of. Yeah. I
Oh,
um some kind of paper material, I would say. I'm not too sure. What about in your temple? What was it made of?
yeah, made of wood.
Okay, wait,
So
what?
my family temple has a white elephant uh, made of wood.
Uh-huh.
Then they put a small kind of how do you call it, Hanamido shrine.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Then put the baby Buddha inside, and like you said, we pour the
Mhm.
sweet tea.
Yeah, yeah.
And we celebrate Shakyamuni Buddha's birthday.
Mhm.
So this is at my family temple. But
Uh-huh.
my hometown, Nagasaki, there is a kind of Buddhist association.
Okay.
All, different Buddhist temples, ministers and monks get together, then celebrate the Hanamatsuri service. So then once a year, close to the April 8th, they
Mhm.
pick the date, then they get together at the one temple, they have a service first,
Mhm.
then they kind of marching around the city of Nagasaki, downtown Nagasaki, and they're carrying those white elephant and the hanamido, then try to let everybody know, they are celebrating a Hanamatsuri.
Oh,
Then
that.
in Nagasaki, there's a streetcar.
Mhm.
Then on the particular day, there's a Hanamatsuri Hanamatsuri designed streetcar is running in the city of Nagasaki.
Mhm. Yeah.
So for me, Hanamatsuri is kind of totally different from other Jodo Shinshu major services.
Mhm.
So
Mhm.
like a Ohigan service, Obon service, uh, these kind of big services, that's kind of all the people are attending the service, but no one, those younger people participate those services. But
Mhm.
Hanamatsuri, in my memory, even Dharma school students
Mhm.
participate those services
Right, yeah. I
or
think it's
events.
also like the season. I think it's right around the time when spring kind of starts to take place, and there's a lot of sunshine and
Mhm.
lots of flowers are used. So I think it's like this very kind of lively uh, sense and
Yeah.
vibe that is kind of
Yeah.
yeah in
Uh-huh.
region. Yeah, I think so too.
Yeah,
Yeah.
because lots of people may think, especially in
Mhm.
Japan, people think Buddhist temple is for the funeral and the memorial service.
Yeah, yeah.
So they don't celebrate anything.
Right, right.
That's they think. But actually, uh, Buddhist temple celebrating Shakyamuni Buddha's birthday really lively. So then one question uh, came up, or lots of people asked me,
Mhm.
you know, we celebrate the Shakyamuni Buddha. Of course, Shakyamuni Buddha is a really important Buddha
Mhm.
to all the Buddhists, including Jodo Shinshu,
Right.
right? But in our origin, in our altar, we have Amida Buddha,
Mhm. Right,
but
right.
there is no Shakyamuni Buddha's statue or Shakyamuni Buddha's portrait, or we don't have anything for Shakyamuni Buddha. Then sometimes people ask me, why Jodo Shinshu Temple doesn't have Shakyamuni Buddha statue in the Onaijin? So we say only Amida Buddha.
Right. Yeah, I get that question a lot too, and the simple straight answer I will tell them is, I'll say, he is up there. He is Amida Buddha. That is what where he is located. So there doesn't need to be a separate place marked off for him for the Shakyamuni Buddha, because even in the doctrinal sutras, I took some time to kind of look this up, but in the larger sutra, which is of the three Pure Land Sutras, in this one particular part, when Shakyamuni Buddha is explaining the larger sutra, he's kind of in this deep state of meditation, and then Ananda comes up to me and says, "Oh, Shakyamuni, you look very radiant today. You look really nice. What's up? What's going on? Like how come you look so nice today?" And then Shakyamuni Buddha later goes into this sutra, what we call the Sambutsuge, where he begins by saying Kogen Gigi, and then it starts talking about this. But right before the Sambutsuge, we call it the Gotoku Zuigen in Japanese, the five radiant features of Shakyamuni Buddha. And the first two, I have the book out here right now, but the first two, it says, so Ananda is saying this to Shakyamuni, and he says, "Today, the world honored one abides in the most rare and wondrous Dharma." And in the second one, he says, "Today, the world hero abides where all Buddhas abide." And then he talks about the other five, the rest of them. And then he says, "Is it not the case that you, the present Buddha, think on all the other Buddhas now?" So this in Japanese is called Butsu Butsu Sonen. And this is basically what this means, is that Shakyamuni Buddha is in a state of samadhi, of being one with all Buddhas and being one with Amida Buddha especially. And it is during this time then that Amida Buddha comes out as the story of the larger sutra from Shakyamuni Buddha's storytelling, right? And so this is how we know that Amida Buddha and Shakyamuni Buddha are one. And so that's why in the Onaijin, when we see Amida Buddha, that is where we see Shakyamuni Buddha as well. And so that's the kind of explanation that I give to the people who ask me that question. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I just remember when I went to Gonshiki Shidosho, that's a school to study Jodo Shinshu ritual and sutra chanting. I think one teacher mentioned, Shinran Shonin, Renyo Shonin, other shrines, altar shrines, we offer just one rice.
All right.
But in front of, to the Amida Buddha, we offer two
Yeah, that's right.
rice, one set of rice.
Yeah,
so, then I remember one of my teachers said, probably this is his appreciation, coming from his appreciation, but the rice is one for Amida Buddha, one for the Shakyamuni Buddha. Although the statue is only Amida Buddha, we express our appreciation. We are offering the rices for both Amida Buddha and Shakyamuni Buddha.
Great, yeah, I will use that. I will explain it like next time I see, people ask me that. Oh, that's great.
Yeah. Then also, if I look at this Gonshikishu, the chanting service book, when we say Nembutsu, we always say Namo Amida Butsu, Namo Amida Buddha. I take refuge in Amida Buddha. So we only say I take refuge in Amida Buddha. I take refuge in Amida Buddha. But some of the services in this book, especially the Ryojikyo Safo, it says Namo Amida Butsu, Namo Shakyamuni Butsu, Namo, Namo Amida Bu, Namo Shakyamuni Butsu, Namo Jippo Shobutsu, Namo Kanzeon Bosatsu, Namo Daiseishi Bosatsu, Namo Shoujo Daikaishu Bosatsu. So, we are reciting, I take refuge in Amida Buddha, I take refuge in Shakyamuni Buddha, I take refuge in the Buddhas of 10 directions, I take refuge in Kanzen Bosatsu. How do you say in English?
Kanno, that's Avalokiteshvara. Yeah.
Yeah, I take refuge in Avalokiteshvara. And Daiseishi Bosatsu.
Mahastama Prapta. Mahastama Prapta. Yeah.
So we are also, saying I take refuge in those Amida Buddha, Shakyamuni Buddha, and those Bodhisattvas too. So
Great.
from Gonshiki standpoint, ritual standpoint, we also have we expressing our appreciation and respect, taking refuge to Amida Buddha and Shakyamuni Buddha.
It's interesting. Yeah. Yeah. Great. Thank
So,
you. Yeah.
but still, we have only Amida Buddha statue, just behind you,
Yeah.
there is a Omyogo. It doesn't say Namo Shakyamuni Butsu, right?
That's right. Yeah. Oh, another thing that popped into my mind is during the camps, the internment camps, there was one camp, I forget which one, but the Buddhists there saw that the Christians were having a Sunday service, so they thought, we should do that as well, and so they were doing a Sunday service. But the problem was that because there was different schools of Buddhism all meeting in one place, they couldn't agree on a central object of reverence, and so they ended up going with Namo Shakabutsu, I think, and so that was the agreement that they came to. But that's also another very interesting thing that came
right.
development during the internment camps.
Because probably the history, the Japanese Buddhism and American Buddhism, the history of Buddhism in those two different countries may have the difference, because in Japan, Jodo Shinshu Temple, we celebrate the Hana Matsuri, but not many Jodo Shinshu Temple is having the service for like a Jodo-e or Nehan-e, Nirvana Day service or Bodhi Day service. But here in the United States, BCA, I think all the Buddhist churches of America's temple are having a Bodhi Day service and Nirvana Day service as well.
Right.
So do you think any other reason behind?
I think there's some kind of there's a historical reference to that or development to that, where when Western scholars first started to study Buddhism, they were, from the influence of Christianity and the origin story, the beginnings of a religion is very important, especially to these Western scholars. And so when they looked to Buddhism to first study about Buddhism, they wanted to find what was the origin story of Buddhism, what started Buddhism, and that was Shakyamuni Buddha. And so there was a lot of emphasis placed on Shakyamuni Buddha when Buddhism was being introduced to the West. And so there was a lot of study being done in the Pali language and Sanskrit, and a lot of emphasis on Shakyamuni Buddha. And as a matter of fact, Jodo Shinshu, or Pure Land School, was as a part of Mahayana Buddhism. Mahayana Buddhism as a whole wasn't considered to be Buddhism. It was considered to be a kind of like later development that adjusted to the cultures that it went to. So it wasn't the quote unquote real Buddhism. And that there was this idea of you have to go back to the original, the quote unquote original and pristine, this idealized form of the beginnings of Buddhism. And that was emphasized up all the way until very recently, when, for example, D.T. Suzuki is credited for the person who said Mahayana Buddhism is a legitimate school of Buddhism to be studied. And he was the one that kind of changed the mindset in the West to recognize Mahayana Buddhism as a form of school of study. But that idea is still there of wanting to emphasize the original Buddha, and all other Buddhas are later developments that adjusted to the cultures and countries that it went to. And so I don't know where I was going with that, but I think I was just trying to say that Jodo Shinshu Buddhism, kind of, we as Jodo Shinshu in here in America need to kind of understand that is in our history, in the development of Buddhism here in the West.
Yeah, there's a good point, or not bad point, but just a difference
Yes.
how the Buddhism was developing in Japan and the United States, I think.
Yeah, because I
Yeah.
mean, even if you go from the time of Shinran Shonin, it's already been 800 years in Japan, and here in America, it's been 100, just over 100 years. So it's very, it's different, and the rate at which they develop in the time context also, it also makes a difference too, I think. So it will be different between the two countries. Yeah.
Then, yeah, this is just my appreciation why we have only Amida Buddha statue or Namo Amida Butsu in the center of our altar Naijin is my appreciation is, like you said at the beginning of this conversation, there are 84,000 paths to follow. If I was given 84,000 paths, I don't know which path I can follow.
True.
So,
Yeah.
but I think Shinran Shonin is saying, I know you cannot choose one. So
Yeah.
this is the path you should follow.
Yeah.
That's why, that path is Amida Buddha's path.
Right.
This is the path we can go to the Pure Land and attain enlightenment.
Yeah.
So, we just, focus. Easy
Right.
for me to focus to this path. We
Yeah.
appreciate all Shakyamuni Buddha, Bodhisattvas. Then we focus on Amida Buddha's path.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
this is the reason why Amida Buddha statue is there. If Shakyamuni Buddha's statue, I may think all 84,000 paths.
To do all of it. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Then
The other amazing thing with Shinran Shonin is that, he was very keen on saying, don't disparage other paths, don't make fun of or don't look down on other paths. People will choose the path that's right for them. I just so happen to have found the path that's right for me, and what I'm going to go with. For a Bonbu like myself,
yeah,
who has blind passions that I cannot get rid of, this path was for me, and
yeah,
that was.
yeah.
I think that's an amazing for someone to be able to say that. Yeah.
Okay. So thank you for listening to this Minds of Ministers episode 3. So today, this is the service for Hanamatsuri service. So Seattle Basin, I think most of the BCA temple, Hanamatsuri is one of the most popular lively service. But this time, unfortunately, we cannot meet at the temple in person. So I would like to ask all of you who are watching this video to celebrate Hanamatsuri service on your own at home. Then I want to ask you to take a picture, then post on their Facebook page or Instagram or whatever the social media. But maybe you can call other people, other family to exchange how they celebrate the Hanamatsuri service. So that's I wanna ask you.
Yeah, I will ask my temple members to do that too. Yeah, if they could kind of post something up on Facebook and kind of show what would be their way, their little special way of celebrating Shakyamuni's birthday. Yeah.
So this is we are recording for the Sunday service for April 5th. Then the following Sunday, April 12th, Northwest Ministers Association, we are trying to get together using this technology, Zoom. Then we are thinking to provide kind of Northwest Ministers Association for officiating Hanamatsuri service next Sunday, following Sunday. So anyway, thank you for attending this service today. To conclude our Minds of Ministers episode 3, please join me in Gassho. Let's say Namo Amida Butsu, Namo Shakyamuni Butsu, Namo Amida Butsu, Namo Shakyamuni Butsu.
Okay. All right.
Okay, please join me in Gassho. Namo Amida Butsu, Namo Shakyamuni Butsu, Namo Amida Butsu, Namo Shakyamuni Butsu. Bye bye.
Okay, thank you very much.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
So that was our video. To conclude, I would like to say Buddhism has a long history that spans way before the Common Era and exists to this day. That's approximately 2,500 years of rich history that we are now a part of. I remember when I was in high school and we covered the history of China and the Silk Road, and I think we covered it in about 2 weeks, which does not do it justice at all. It is a huge chunk of world history that we are kind of skipping over if we do it in that short of a time. But when we think about the infinite causes and conditions, it really is a wonder and an awe-striking phenomenon that we are able to receive this profound and deep teaching. When we say Namo Amida Butsu, we are in part recognizing that we are included in this long, long tradition. We are carrying the batons now, and we must ensure it will be passed on to future generations. Let's do our part in spreading the teaching of Amida Buddha's great compassion. So happy Hana Matsuri, and please take care of each other. Thank you very much. Please join me in Gassho. Namo Amida Butsu. Namo Amida Butsu. Namo Amida Butsu. Thank you.